Hello, and welcome to the Observability Heroes. My name is Rainer, and I'm an observability nerd. And one of the reasons is because in the past, before I started to dive into APM, I was, a developer, an architect, and also operator of distributed systems. And I was asked more than once to perform some troubleshooting on a live system because, they were losing money. And the troubleshooting is one of the reasons why we want observability data and observability information. If the system is not observable, if we don't have any data, troubleshooting is extremely tedious, stressful, and very long. So let me take you through my procedure, my process in troubleshooting and where observability comes into the game. First and foremost, we need to know there is a problem. That's where alerting comes into the game. Alerts can be many things. An email from your boss, for example, that could be an alert. Or you see something going red on a dashboard. Or you get an SMS from your alerting system that something is not right. The worst type of alert is if a customer is calling your CEO and the CEO is screaming to the rest that the company is losing money and that's bad reputation. You want to avoid that. But that's always the first step. You need to know that you have a problem. And that is where observability helps. Now, when we take a look further, we are alerted now. What happens? Well, we need to fix the problem. But in order to fix the problem, we need to know where the problem is, where the root cause is, and who is responsible for fixing it. And I'm not saying who's responsible for the problem, but for fixing it. Blaming is one of the things that's happening too often. But with the right data, with the right observability data, the triage is not a big problem. Triage helps us to find the area where the problem, the root cause, most likely resides. And that uses kind of the same data as the alerting, but looks at it from a different perspective, at different connections with a different context. And we will find out which realm the root cause is most likely in. And then next step is diagnostics. This is where the team that most likely is in charge of the troublesome area, of the troublesome service, needs to know what's going on. Log files, error messages, metrics about the performance in the past, about now, about what's happening, maybe profiles. This is all in diagnostics, and this again is massively supported by observability data. If you don't have it, you're guessing. If you don't have at least logs, you are totally in the dark. And you have to diagnose by trial and error, which in a big production system is not feasible. And with the diagnostics, I can lead to a root cause detection. Root cause detection means I have identified the culprit, the bottleneck, the memory consumer, the reason for the memory leak, and I can fix it. This could be a code change, this could be a configuration change, this could be added resources, or simply a restart. No, not a restart. That's the fix. But the root cause can be anything. And in highly distributed systems, finding the root cause is massively easier if you have observability data. If you have traces that show you what is happening when a request goes through the system. Having logs combined with these traces telling you, we got stuck here because the external service has a response time of 1 second where we expect 10 milliseconds. And so on. If you have that, if you have the connections, if you have the traces, the logs, and the metrics besides it, root cause detection should be fast. And without root cause detection, you don't have any reason, or you don't have a good solution. Because if you don't know what is causing the problems, how would you fix it? For good. A standard, very popular fix was to restart the systems. System restart when, for example, memory issues happened was very common. And the operations handbook says, if this happens, if you're reaching the heap size close to the system memory available, then just restart the box. Fine, that works. For a single system, over time and with traffic, that is always the same. If you have increasing traffic, if you have a load balanced system, it's not that easy anymore. And in terms of serverless architectures, that's not an option at all because there's nothing to restart. So the easy solution is restarting, but the most sustainable solution is fixing the root cause. And once we've done that, hey, we're done. We move on with life, with what we want to do, and that's enjoy the revenue that comes in as the CEO, enjoy a green dashboard or a not red or yellow dashboard as an operator, and defining or developing new code as a developer. And that's it. That's my take on the performance troubleshooting supported by observability data. Each of these steps uses the same type of data, but with a different view, with a different perspective and different context. And that's the magic of it. APM, application performance monitoring, focused on alerting and maybe triage. Diagnostics, sometimes, most of the times. With a whole observability system, you have all of this data and you can connect it, and that's a step further. That's why observability is more than just monitoring and managing and alerting. And with that, I say see you next time when we take a look at another issue that we need observability for, and that is, let's see, emergency debugging. So one of these steps that we've seen here. And until then, thanks for watching. I'm Rainer. Goodbye.